a former Navy pilot, flew into the banned no-fly zone and saw things that could change history. Brian S., a former Navy officer, served on C-130 supply missions in Antarctica from 1984 to 1987. At that time, Antarctica was extremely isolated, with limited communication and strict military protocols keeping everything classified. Brian's crew flew over vast, untouched areas, including highly restricted no-fly zones. They noticed strange lights, unusual radio interference, and questioned the official explanation that these zones protected air sampling stations, as the restricted areas were large and numerous. On a routine day, Brian's C-130 crew was tasked with a critical medical evacuation from a remote station. The usual route avoided several no-fly zones, adding time. The captain questioned one no-fly zone on their map and decided to fly directly over it to save time. This zone was supposed to be an air sampling station, requiring a 20-mile detour during normal flights. Taking off from the South Pole at about 11,000 to 12,000 feet, climbing to 25,000 feet, the crew spotted a large dark area near the pole. Curious, they adjusted their flight to get a better look, revealing a sight that contradicted all they had been told about the air sampling stations. If you were Brian's pilot, would you have taken the risk to fly over the restricted zone to save lives? Why or why not? Comment and chat with me. Brian and his crew discovered a massive opening in the ice, large enough to fit their C-130 aircraft, which has a wingspan of about 135 feet. Inside, they saw what looked like an artificial ramp descending into the ice, with smooth geometric surfaces suggesting human construction. This was not a natural cave or research facility. Despite flying over 20,000 feet high, the opening's size and design were unmistakable. The crew questioned why such a large, artificial structure existed and why it was strictly off-limits if it was supposedly just an air sampling station. When Brian's crew returned, their routine report turned into a tense interrogation. Superior officers, previously uninterested, suddenly demanded detailed answers and ordered them to forget what they saw. The crew felt the threat was serious and understood they had to obey to protect their careers and safety. Despite the intimidation, the memory stayed strong, hinting at the discovery's significance. The officers already knew what the crew saw, revealing a planned cover-up. Years later, Brian realized his government was hiding a major secret that could change human history. On a routine day, Brian's crew was tasked with a critical medical evacuation. The usual route avoided no-fly zones, adding time. The captain decided to fly directly over one zone to save time. Near the South Pole, they spotted a large dark area and adjusted their flight to get a better look. What they saw contradicted their briefing about air sampling stations. Brian's team served in Antarctica from 1984 to 1987, flying supply missions in isolation with strict protocols. They noticed strange lights, radio interference, and many no-fly zones. The official explanation was air sampling stations, but the crew doubted it due to their size and number. After the discovery, Brian's crew was pulled into an intense debriefing. Officers ordered them to forget what they saw, threatening their careers. The officers already knew about the discovery, showing a deliberate cover-up. Brian later realized his government was hiding a secret that could change human history. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. It helps support the channel, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more great content. During Brian's time in Antarctica, an unusual situation arose. 15 experienced researchers went unaccounted for over 2 weeks, with no contact or signals for help, which was very concerning under such extreme conditions. Efforts to locate them were unexpectedly postponed, with instructions given to hold back due to a claim of confidential work requiring limited communication, a puzzling directive given the environment. When these researchers eventually returned, they appeared altered, reserved, unsettled, and withdrawn. Their equipment was taken for official review and classified by military authorities. They remained unwilling to share details about their absence, even in private, indicating they were likely very distressed or compelled to maintain silence. Rumors among station personnel said the missing scientists discovered more than natural caves. They entered artificial underground structures showing both human and non-human design. Brian heard about vast underground complexes under the ice, described as advanced installations far beyond known technology. The unsettling part was that these facilities were not solely human. Reports claimed humans worked alongside beings not from Earth, sharing some areas while other sections were off-limits and operated by these advanced entities. This was not a sudden encounter but a long-term, organized collaboration in place for decades. The scientists supposedly toured only safe areas. Their psychological distress made sense. They uncovered that their government had secretly worked with non-human intelligences, hiding it from the world. The quarantine of their equipment fits too. Any recorded proof of this would be the most significant intelligence breach ever, something every government would scramble to control or erase. What makes Brian's testimony notable is how it connects to the broader international agreements about Antarctica. The Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959, officially designates the continent as a scientific preserve and prohibits military actions. Brian suggested the treaty might also serve to protect sensitive information related to undisclosed discoveries beneath the ice. According to his perspective, many nations with a presence in Antarctica, including the United States, Russia, the United Kingdom, Argentina, and Chile, agreed to maintain confidentiality about certain findings. This was described as a highly sensitive issue beyond typical national security concerns. The treaty's ban on military activities may reflect that some operations are carried out under scientific cover. The research stations could have dual roles, supporting scientific work while also overseeing undisclosed matters. Brian proposed that this secrecy might involve monitoring personnel and enforcing compliance. Those who raised concerns or shared information risked serious personal consequences. If true, this level of international cooperation would be unprecedented and might explain why access to many parts of Antarctica remains highly restricted, even to independent researchers and officials without clearance. What hidden truths do you think lie beneath Antarctica's ice? Drop your theories in the comments. What makes Brian's testimony so compelling isn't that it stands alone, it's part of a growing chorus of similar accounts from credible witnesses. Over the years, other whistleblowers, including scientists, engineers, pilots, and contractors, have come forward with remarkably consistent stories about strange phenomena in Antarctica. These aren't random conspiracy theorists or attention seekers. We're talking about people with legitimate credentials, security clearances, and careers that would be destroyed by making false claims. Yet they've all described similar experiences: unexplainable structures buried beneath the ice, ancient pyramids protruding from the snow, and electromagnetic anomalies that defy conventional scientific understanding. Dr. Carmen Bolter, an archaeologist who has studied ancient civilizations for decades, has documented multiple accounts from researchers who claim to have discovered artificial structures in Antarctica that predate known human civilization by thousands of years. These aren't natural rock formations. They show clear signs of intelligent design and construction techniques that we still don't fully understand. Former military personnel have described encounters with disc-shaped craft that demonstrate flight capabilities far beyond anything in our current arsenal. These objects move through Antarctic skies with impossible speed and agility, performing maneuvers that would destroy any known aircraft. The consistency of these descriptions across multiple independent witnesses is striking. Engineers who worked on classified projects have reported being brought to underground facilities where they observed technology that seemed decades ahead of publicly available science. They describe power systems that operate on unknown principles, materials with properties that shouldn't exist according to our current understanding of physics, and construction techniques that would be impossible with conventional methods. Perhaps most disturbing are the accounts from scientists who claim they were shown evidence of ancient civilizations that once thrived in Antarctica before it became frozen. These discoveries allegedly include libraries of information, technological artifacts, and even preserved biological specimens that could revolutionize our understanding of human history and our place in the universe. The pattern that emerges from these testimonies is clear: Antarctica isn't just a frozen wasteland. It's a repository of secrets that could fundamentally change how we understand our world, our history, and our relationship with intelligences beyond Earth. In the digital age, one of the most powerful tools for uncovering hidden truths has become Google Earth. This satellite imaging platform has democratized access to high-resolution imagery of even the most remote locations on Earth, including Antarctica. And what amateur researchers have discovered using this technology is absolutely mind-blowing. Users scanning Antarctica through Google Earth have identified numerous anomalies that don't fit with natural geological formations. We're talking about perfectly geometric structures, massive circular formations, and what appear to be artificial constructions partially buried beneath the ice and snow. Some of the most compelling discoveries include what researchers call monolithic structures, the massive rectangular and triangular formations that appear to be arranged in deliberate patterns. These structures cast shadows that reveal their three-dimensional nature, and their geometric precision suggests artificial construction rather than natural formation. Even more provocative are the images that appear to show disc-shaped objects embedded in the ice. These formations have the curved edges and metallic appearance consistent with the classic flying saucer design. Some images show what appear to be drag marks in the snow, as if large objects had skidded across the surface before coming to rest. One particularly famous image, which has since been removed from Google Earth, reportedly showed a disc-shaped object half submerged in a glacier with a metallic sheen that reflected sunlight. The object appeared to be approximately 100 feet in diameter and showed clear signs of artificial construction. Another set of images revealed what appeared to be a convoy of identical objects arranged at regular intervals across a remote valley. The precision of their placement and their identical appearance suggested they were manufactured rather than natural formations. But here's where things get really suspicious. Many of these images have been systematically removed or altered. Users who bookmark specific coordinates have returned to find the areas blurred, pixelated, or completely obscured. In some cases, entire sections of Antarctica that were once clearly visible have been replaced with older, lower-resolution imagery. This pattern of digital censorship suggests that someone is actively monitoring what the public can see of Antarctica through satellite imagery. The fact that specific anomalies are being targeted for removal or alteration indicates that these aren't just random image processing errors. They're deliberate attempts to hide evidence. The implications of what's been discovered in Antarctica extend far beyond simple government secrecy. If the testimonies and evidence are accurate, we're looking at discoveries that could rewrite human history and our understanding of life in the universe. Some researchers believe the structures found beneath Antarctic ice are remnants of an advanced civilization that existed before the continent became frozen. This theory suggests that Antarctica wasn't always the frozen wasteland we know today, that it once supported a thriving civilization with technology that rivaled or exceeded our current capabilities. The timeline for this civilization would place it in the distant past, possibly before the last ice age fundamentally changed Earth's climate. If such a civilization existed, its technological achievements would have been lost when the continent became uninhabitable, leaving only buried ruins as evidence of their existence. But there's another possibility that's even more extraordinary, that these ancient structures weren't built by humans at all. The advanced construction techniques, the massive scale of the projects, and the sophisticated technology allegedly found in these sites might represent evidence of extraterrestrial visitation or colonization of Earth in the distant past. This theory would explain why modern governments are so desperate to keep these discoveries secret. Evidence of ancient extraterrestrial presence on Earth would fundamentally challenge every religious, scientific, and philosophical framework that human civilization is built upon. The social, political, and economic disruption caused by such revelations could destabilize the entire world order. The connection between ancient structures and modern UFO sightings in Antarctica suggests that this isn't just an archaeological curiosity, it might represent ongoing extraterrestrial activity. If non-human intelligences established bases in Antarctica thousands of years ago, they might still be using those facilities today. This would explain the international cooperation in maintaining secrecy about Antarctica. It's not just about hiding historical discoveries, it's about managing ongoing contact with intelligences that possess technology far beyond our current capabilities. The stakes involved would be higher than any terrestrial political conflict. The gradual disclosure of UFO information by government agencies in recent years might be preparation for the eventual revelation of what's really happening in Antarctica. But the full truth might be so shocking that it requires decades of careful preparation to prevent social collapse. Want to stay updated on the latest evidence and whistleblower accounts? Subscribe now and join the journey into Antarctica's mysteries. The scale of the cover-up surrounding Antarctica's secrets requires unprecedented international cooperation. We're talking about a conspiracy that spans multiple governments, intelligence agencies, military organizations, and scientific institutions across the globe. The logistics of maintaining such secrecy for decades represent one of the most successful information control operations in human history. The Antarctic Treaty System, which now includes 54 countries, provides the legal framework for this cover-up. While officially promoting peaceful scientific cooperation, the treaty also establishes strict controls over who can access the continent and what activities are permitted. Independent researchers, journalists, and even government officials without proper clearance are systematically excluded from areas where they might discover evidence of hidden operations. The economic implications of these secrets are staggering. If Antarctica contains advanced technology or energy sources, the nations controlling access to these resources would have overwhelming advantages over the rest of the world. The potential for technological breakthroughs based on recovered alien technology could revolutionize everything from energy production to space travel. Military strategists understand that whoever controls Antarctica's secrets controls the future of human civilization. This explains why major powers continue to invest billions of dollars in Antarctic operations despite the continent's apparent lack of economic value. They're not just conducting scientific research, they're protecting and exploiting the most valuable intelligence assets on Earth. The psychological warfare aspects of this cover-up are equally sophisticated. Anyone who comes forward with evidence or testimony about Antarctic anomalies faces immediate character assassination, career destruction, and social isolation. The message is clear: challenging the official narrative about Antarctica will result in personal destruction. But the cover-up is showing signs of strain. The proliferation of satellite imagery, the increasing number of whistleblower testimonies, and the growing public interest in UFO phenomena are making it harder to maintain absolute secrecy. Each new revelation adds pressure to an information dam that might eventually burst. If Brian's testimony and related evidence are true, it could change everything we know about civilization. Governments may have secretly contacted extraterrestrial beings for decades, keeping the public unaware. This hidden knowledge would affect political decisions, military actions, and economic policies worldwide. Advanced alien technology might have been studied and kept classified, blocking breakthroughs in energy, medicine, and communication. Solutions to major problems like climate change and disease could be withheld. Religious beliefs would face challenges, as humanity would no longer be seen as alone or the most advanced. This could deeply impact billions of people's sense of purpose. The secrecy also questions democracy and human rights. If a few control secret information, elected leaders might lack the knowledge to truly represent citizens. Economically, industries like oil, gas, and aerospace could become obsolete if advanced technology were released. Geopolitical power would shift drastically. However, if shared, these technologies could solve critical issues and enable new space exploration, offering great benefits. The key question is whether those who hold these secrets will share them with the world. Brian's courage inspires hope that truth will prevail. This story is far from over. It may be the start of the most important disclosure in history, driven by public pressure and fearless investigation. What do you think about Brian's testimony? Have you seen suspicious changes in Antarctica's satellite images? Do governments have the right to withhold discoveries that could benefit all? Share your thoughts below. I read every comment. If you want more, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm uncovering new evidence with other researchers and have listed coordinates and resources for you to explore in the description. See the evidence yourself. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.